Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Alternate Shot. This episode, we will be talking the betting markets for the Farmers Insurance Open, as well as the Dubai Desert Classic. As always, I am joined by Sky. What's going on?
Hey, Axis. Yeah, another good day ahead of us here. This is one of my favorite tracks actually in the European Tour that we'll get to play this week. Beautiful scenes that you get in Dubai. But yeah, and then of course, like we talked about yesterday, a little preview of Torrey for the U.S. Open. So there's some really juicy numbers that kind of we attacked early on. We're not coming with you today with another big top of the board withdrawal. So the numbers that we discuss, no longer existed. We're here with a full board.
Yes. Like you said, we talked a lot more on the course on yesterday's episode, which is still viable for betting. So if you want to go listen to the DFS episode, we really did dive into Torrey. As you mentioned, U.S. Open. I don't think it's going to play much like a U.S. Open, obviously, but it is being brought up, so we might as well talk about it. The strokes gained data is all from the South Course, so whenever we reference that, we are referencing only data from the South Course. They, of course, will play North and South. You might find a book out there that offers first-round leaders that doesn't split up the field. If you find that, be sure to target guys on the North Course. You're getting quite the edge if you can find a book that doesn't. And it seems like once a year, each year we find a book or two that does that. Whether it's on purpose, they just want action. Who knows? But and there's more and more books becoming legal everywhere. Virginia and Michigan are now on board. So just be sure to look around. If they're not really big paying attention to golf, they might screw up and give you the first round leader market with everybody.
Yeah, massive edge. And now we're talking to you. Now you're betting in a legal state. So This has been a big change since last Tuesday. So
I don't have to drive to the casino to make bets in Michigan anymore, which is not, it's been legal for a year. It's finally legal mobile. A lot of access to the sports books that were in the casinos up north. That weren't not driving all the way up to the damn near the UP to put in bets. So. That is very nice and has opened up the beautiful world of each-way wagering to myself and other Michiganders. So, with that said, we will jump into the Farmers Insurance Open first. We'll talk some outrights. Who's one of your favorite outrights for the Farmers Insurance Open?
Well, I'll leave you the guy up top to discuss because we're double dipping both of us on him.
That is correct.
But I think the way I'm going to approach it is going back to the well as somebody who was quite popular last week, who absolutely bombed in his first round, yet scorched, on Friday in round 2. Sammy Burns, man. I know we've referred to him as Bermuda Burns. We're getting him on POA this week. However, if you looked at the strokes gained off the tee that has been gained over, just segment it out. You look at the past 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, kind of adjusted a little bit for field strength. And Burns is in the top 10 every single time. And that's something to be said about somebody who's 95-1. Now, we know Burns hasn't came through with a victory yet, and it's part of why you're getting this inflated number. But, he's coming off a miscut when he actually still played exceptional on Friday, even with the strokes gained statistics that you get on the stadium course of last week. Everything looked great, just was one anomaly of a round. I'm taking advantage of the number they're giving us at DraftKings Sportsbook. So 95-1 Sam Burns is the first bet for me.
Yeah, and if you sort by off the tee in this field, which will be important this week, he's one of the top 10 golfers in this field, which is saying a lot. There's a lot of great guys who drive the golf ball playing this week. His irons have been okay. The short game can lift him up for sure. And if you go over to ftnbets.com, go to the prop shop, and you can actually search Sam Burns. I happen to do it in Michigan, and you can actually find 100-1 if you go over to PointsBet. So always be sure to do that because Sky's driving the number down at DraftKings. It just dropped to 90 as I searched it. So
there we go. Already
dropping hammers.
People...
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Who are we on up top? Let the people know.
So I didn't go very high, although you look at past winners, but I think it wouldn't be a shock if Viktor Hovland won this week. I happened to get him at 30-1 with the each way at Bet Rivers. Again, if you go over to the prop shop, you can type in Victor Hovland. You can find better outright numbers. PointsBet, again, is at 33. You just don't get the each way at that website. I like the 6 places at the 1/5 odds. So, yeah, Victor Hovland, like I said, we were talking ball striking yesterday, off the tee prowess, and he's just extremely good. He's one of the best ball strikers in this field. Obviously, the short game is always what lets him down. He's not a terrible putter. His around the green game was horrible. It's improved. I don't want to say it's fixed. But historically, when I was going through the data, I didn't really see anything that really stood out around the green as far as this being extremely more difficult for the missing a green penalty compared to average courses. In fact, even just not looking at other courses or at the average course, it really wasn't overly difficult scoring to par compared to others for missing greens. So they're tiny. A lot of people are going to miss them, so he's going to have some chips. Hopefully his stellar iron game doesn't leave him a ton of those, though. And if he's missing, that many greens, it is what it is for his chances anyway. But I really like Victor Hovland here, 30-1, and would be a great first big victory, if you will, for him.
Yeah, no, I completely am. I mean, the way he sets up off the tee, I mean, it should be a tailor-made course. I've heard conversations of him versus Wolf this week versus Scheffler. I just think, the ball striking that Hovland has shown consistently puts him best of that bunch right now, and the number's decent. So, I mean, of course, 2-time winner now. Let's step it up at some big-time events.
Yeah, broke the old Puerto Rico curse that was hanging on to everybody. I made the number pretty close to what it is. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a huge edge. I just think he really fits what I'm looking for. I only bet 3 outrights. The rest you can find on ftnbets.com. But yeah, he just of the guys near the top, his statistics of late and long term just really stood out. So that's where I'm going. Do you have another guy at the Farmers or a prop, or you want me to get into my prop?
You can go to yours. I'm gonna lay 2 on us in Europe.
Yeah, I thought you might. So I guess the non-outright I will go with for the Farmers is I'm going to take Adam Scott plus 100 over Jason Day. You can find that over at DraftKings Sportsbook. I do kind of bake course history in. Like, I just don't think it's that heavy. I think that's part of the Jason Day number. Adam Scott, yeah, you look at his finishes of late, they've been kind of middling, just, somewhere between T18 to T35, it seems, is where he's been sitting. I'd like to see that improve, although Jason Day has been extremely consistent since he had that run right in there with the PGA Championship, but I think he's had a 12th since, but he has random withdrawals, missed cuts. Like, it's Jason Day. The approach game, I'm actually surprised at how well he has done here. Like, maybe he's hit his irons better, but his iron game really isn't that strong. He's been okay off the tee. His short game is what it is. He's going to be good there. But Adam Scott has a good short game, too. He gets a lot of crap for missing some real short putts, but overall, he's been putting very well over the last extended period of time, over the last year. Even his recent form, his putting is not really what's been killing him. So I much prefer Adam Scott's long game here. I think that gives him an edge over Jason Day. I made him the slight favorite, so I will gladly take the plus 100.
Yeah, no, I completely live with that. I mean, to compare the current states of game between those two, I don't even really. I mean, I think plus 100 is stealing. So I'd be on that with you as well.
Yeah, I didn't make Scott a criminally huge favorite in that matchup, but I think Jason Day is getting a little too much love maybe in the market for what he has done, even for us winning us tickets here at Torrey Pines. So with that, we will hop over to the Middle East again for the European Tour, the Dubai Desert Classic. And since you have 2, I will let you kick it off with your first bet.
Yeah, I'm rolling with somebody whose ball striking game has really improved from 19 to 20 and early on in 2021, and he has arguably the best short game when it comes to Europe, and it's Christian Bezaiden, who I mean, Bezaiden, who had the incredible win at the Andalusia Masters when things were very difficult. He was one of the few guys that was under par. He then lost in a playoff here last year,
He held off
and then
Rahm in that Masters too, in the
yeah,
Andalusia
yeah. I mean,
Masters.
held off. Like, I mean,
I
he
mean,
won by.
he actually gained ground, I think, yeah, in the final round.
So, I mean, to me, like, Bezaiden Hoot's continual climb in the world just shows, his progression that he has had as a ball striker, because it's not as easy to get it done with the short game like he did at the Andalusia Masters. I mean, he won that event we pulled up now. He won by 6 there over Rahm, beating him on Sunday. And that ultimately, kickstarted what is a super talented career, won twice in South Africa last year. So if his improvement continues to spike off the tee, and then you get his electric short game, and that's the way, to me, how you're going to compete this week in Europe. I like him at 25 to 1. I'm seeing him as low as 20 in some spots and 22s. I think there was even a 28 earlier this week. So I settled in at 25 to 1. So shop for that number, what's depending there. But Bezaiden Hoot's my one up top that I really love.
It's crazy to me because we used to talk about him as literally only a short game wizard, and he has put in the work, and his iron game is improving and sustaining. And it started actually when he started playing PGA Tour events. It was kind of crazy. We were all like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" And it, like you said, it's been sustained. Even the off the tee has improved. Could use some work there, but again, that's mainly his lack of distance that holds that number back. But I mean, it's almost Webb-like. Like, he's good enough off the tee, and then if these irons stay, yeah, he's better than Webb Simpson on the greens even. So I think he will even start to push stateside when he starts making more starts on the PGA Tour as well.
Yep, completely agree.
So for me, I am going to go with someone near the top of the board again, and that's going to be Sergio Garcia. And I am just going to ride the fire off the tee. I mean, he is just pounding the ball off the tee. I mean, he is gaining strokes left and right. I mean, but not literally. He's hitting it dead straight and long, which is why he's gaining all these strokes. The iron game has slipped a little, but he's historically a really great iron player, so I'm not overly concerned that tends to come back a little bit. The short game, obviously, we know he struggles to putt. It is what it is. The rest of his game is just completely fine, and there's still a 25 to 1 hanging out there. If you have access to William Hill, the number has dipped at a lot of other books. You can still find some 22s. It's dipped into the high teens at some books, but again, Will Hill still hanging a 25 to 1 out there on Mr. Garcia, and I know you liked Sergio this week as well.
Yep, I'm in on him too. Those are my 2 top of the board. And again, I'm making a conscious effort. We have Hovland, we have Bezaiden Hoot, we have Sergio. This is the range that continues to hit. I make a conscious effort to load up my card with at least a couple of them each week.
Yeah, you don't want to ignore this range just because the payout's not quite as good. I mean, if you really are just in it for long shots, man, do your thing. Like if you're you're just chasing a couple bucks here and there in the weekend, but I mean, you can go look at winners. Like, this is the range they come from. These are the better golfers, obviously. So if you maybe just bet a few less guys and more in this range, I mean, this is where I hit a lot of my winners in the last 2 years, in fact. So there aren't too many 80 to 1 Kevin Nas that you're hitting on a monthly basis even. So I'd like to make the card up here. So who's your second bet for the Dubai Desert Classic?
So the real me would say Guido all day, every day.
Course.
Let's hammer that 250 each way. I mean, they're giving
ball
us
striking
money.
was back last week.
It was. That approach game
He's
was
a Dubai.
fire.
He's basically an honorary Dubai citizen at this point. He's been living here for a year now.
Yep, lives at Jumeirah, but they're playing Emirates. But yeah, no, I love it for Guido. But the one I'm going to go with is Jaden Trey Scaper, the young one out of South Africa. Another one of these kids who had such a really good junior and amateur career, shown life on the European Tour with multiple top 15 finishes, including the second place in South Africa in one of the events that Bezaiden Hoot did win. Scaper's available at 40 to 1, top 5 on Bet365, which is available, I think, in New Jersey. There's some 35s as well out there. What's his each way on Rivers? Do you know offhand?
I do not, but I'll find that for you.
Let's
It's
see.
I have to imagine it's what did you get him at?
So there was a 150 outright. I think maybe even up to a yeah. I think 150 outright. There was a 40 to 1 top five, which was the best that I was seeing.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry, I had all the matchups up. I did not have the outright. Where is this?
Bet
See,
Rivers.
these new websites need to fix how they're presenting their golf to me because there's just stuff everywhere on Bet Rivers right now. So I don't have a good answer for you, unfortunately.
All right. Well, if you wanted to check again, that each way is paying fifth of the odds, top six places. So that overall seems, if you can catch, of course, a 150 to 1, you divide it by five, it's actually only 30 to 1. You'd probably need the 200 or so to really make a better number than what you see at 365. So I think taking advantage of that top five market there is something that I'll definitely be in. I think the kid is mega talented. He was super good in his, tee to green. He was gaining over 3 strokes per round in his 3 tournaments that he has played on the European Tour with have laser data. So I'm a buyer on him. So the top five number being that great, I love to see it.
Yeah, he's 150 to 1. Sorry for that great video there of me searching through Bet Rivers. But yes, 150 to 1, six places, 150 odds of the 150. So
Cool.
not too shabby.
I'm great with that.
All right, everybody. Well, those are some of our favorite bets for the week at the Farmers Insurance Open and the Dubai Desert Classic. Again, that kicks off late Wednesday, so it's always nice to get the sweat started before the PGA on Thursday. You can catch the rest of our picks over at ftnbets.com. You can find them all posted by the entire golf team. If you're not yet a subscriber, please use promo code ALT to get 10% off. You get access to the rest of the content, and one of the best features is the Discord, which we are constantly in and answering questions. So, thank you for joining us. Good luck this week, everybody, and hope to see you.